Let's switch gears just a little bit and talk about the management piece, but also, and this is probably very unfair to say, but stereotypically, you think of a Japanese company as being very, very traditional. Right, which also can be very male-dominated in in older ways of thinking, right?
Yeah.
So you've obviously risen through the ranks over 10 plus years. You've got a very broad role that you have to take on. You have a lot of responsibilities. How has that been coming up through the ranks in a Japanese-owned company as a successful woman?
Oh yeah, sure. I think my experience has been very, very positive. I have a very supportive team. Our president is very committed to getting more and more women in senior management positions, and I've worked with him since very early on. And he kind of, because we used to have these separate subsidiary companies, and we went through a major consolidation, so he's also risen through the ranks as well. But yeah, the experience has been very positive. I mean, I wish we had more women. I think that's what we're trying to do. Is I think across the board, a lot of companies are trying to get more and more women into those types of positions. I think what helps is because we are based in Japan. There's a growing effort to get more and more women into the workforce in Japan. And it's not just Kyocera, but it's a government-led initiative, right? They have an extreme shortage in labor, and they got to get more women there. And the best way to get women into the workforce is to make it easy for them, right? So they are opening up more childcare facilities. They're making those more affordable, right? So it's easy to make that decision. And I think their labor participation rate is over 50%, which is the highest I've seen it. Wow. And they're trying to get it to over 80%. And when things like that happen, you see a ripple effect, right? Sure. So I think that ripple effect is going to go across the company as well. I mean, I already see it happening.
Has it caused a need to change? I think of benefits, for example. Right. Whether it's paternal or maternal, but having maternity leave for longer periods of time where your job is secure. Have there been any ripple effects there or adjustments made?
At least at a local level, we have pretty. I haven't seen that, but I think I'm not sure what they're doing at a global scale. I'm sure they're looking at those things.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, having daycare, those kind of things also.
Oh yeah, no, it's big. Yeah. It's big. I mean, there is more flexible options, so that's definitely there. And when I first started, that was one thing I had to get used to, because we literally move our seats every, you just move it next quadrant over or something, because we change people's roles up a little bit, right? And so
is that more is it more bottom up, where the employee has to say, hey, I want to move over to this new area, or is it more top down, where they get tapped and say, hey, you're doing a great job over here, now move to this other seat?
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely socialization of that happen, and people like that. That's why they come too. They want that exposure. And it's not just in production. I see it. Look what I do, for example, right? Sure. Those things you're like, well, okay, but you get to do that at Kyocera. Sure, right. So if you have an interest, say, hey, I've had somebody who said, well, I'm kind of interested in risk management, and I'm like, well, if you want to do a project, great. You're welcome to do that, nice, right? Yeah. As long as it's okay with your manager. And usually there's a real acceptance towards that for people kind of growing within the company and, just having that interest.
That value, yeah, sure. Yeah. And then they bring different ideas and different perspectives to the table too, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,